everyone, this is Ratnamala working as Assistant Professor in Department of CSC from MLR Institute of Technology. We are going to discuss about the DBMS subject. In the previous class, we have discussed what is database management system, the history of database management system, how the DBMS has evolved from 1970 till present. Next, before DBMS, what is the system that exists? In today's class, we will be discussing about the file system versus DBMS and also the different data models. Now, in this class, in detail, we'll be discussing about these two concepts. Now, coming to the file system. Now, whenever we want to store the data, how we store the data? Let us assume we are preparing a Word document. After preparing a Word document, you save the file name. After saving the file name, you choose the location and save the file over there. The files will be saved. The hierarchical model of saving the files is nothing but first we save the file in subfolders. After that, we will be saving in folders. After that, we will be saving in files. This is the hierarchical model of while we are storing the information in the files. When we are storing the information in the files, it is following a systematic procedure. Then what is the reason behind using the database management system? Now let us assume the main reason of using the database management system is here we are mainly focusing on client server management system. The data that is stored in the client server management system, for the data to be stored and for the data to be accessed, then we are using this method. What do you mean by client server method? Is nothing but now all of you see here. Let us discuss the topic of the student storing the information. I have stored the information of the students. Now where this information is available? This information is available in centralized database. Centralized database is nothing but where everyone can access the data. Now let us assume the director wants to know how many students are there in particular CSC. Then what is happening? Obviously, he will be having access to the centralized database where he can get all the information, right? So, we have seen how we are storing the information in the files. In the database management system, we use the concept of the client server where we have a centralized database where everyone can access the information. Now, through the points, we will discuss what are the disadvantages of file system, and through the disadvantage, what advantage the DBMS is providing. Now, the first one is nothing but structure. So, in the structure, what is happening? The way how we are storing the file. As I told you, we prepare a document, we save in a subfolder, after that we save in the folder, after that we save in a file, whether it may be a desktop, downloads, any type of folder. Now in this structure, what is happening? You have a file system. This is how you store the data in a storage medium. What do you mean by storage medium? Is nothing but you store the data in a pen drive, in a RAM or ROM. Now here coming to DBMS, how we will be storing the data? It is nothing but a software. It is used for managing the database. That means in the centralized database, already the information of the students will be present. Here, if I want to add a new students who have joined in the organization, then I can access through it. That is about the structure. The next one is nothing but data redundancy. What do you mean by redundancy? Redundancy is nothing but the same data is present over. Now you have saved the file. Let us assume you have file in the Word, dbms.word, right? After preparing a file, I have stored the file. Now what I want to do in the same file, I want to make the modifications, right? So I open the file and make the modifications. After making the modification, it gives a message, do you want to save in the same file, right? So what is happening? If I tell yes, be getting the changes in the same file. If I change no, then it will be asking to save with the new file name. So what do you mean by redundancy? Is nothing but, it is nothing but the data that is repeated and repeated, and which you can, what you can do, you can just reduce the data. Means the same data, instead of saving at two places, you can save at one place. So in the DBMS there is no concept of redundant data. The third one is backup and recovery. So in the file system, it doesn't provide inbuilt mechanism and also backup and recovery if the data is lost. Now let us assume I am preparing a Word document, right? So whenever I am preparing a Word document, I didn't save the file. Suddenly there is a power failure. Suddenly the power has been, there is some problem in power, and there is no power. The power has suddenly shut down. If I don't save the file, when the power is back, and when I want to retrieve the data in the file, I cannot retrieve. That is the disadvantages of backup and recovery. Now in DBMS, what is happening? It is having some tools which are used for backup and recovery. Here what we are doing, as I told you, we are using the client server model. We are using the centralized database where we can store the information in the database. It will be stored, and it will be stored in a centralized client server model. So whenever it is required, I can access the data. The next one is nothing but query processing. There is no efficient query processing in the file system. What do you mean by query processing? Query is nothing but a question. Now, whenever I want to open the file, what is happening? I should remember where I stored the file. I should remember the location of the file. Okay, all that. Now, let us assume I don't remember the location. Then what? I cannot access the information of the file. Okay, but in the DBMS, you have efficient query processing. That is, whenever you have a data, among this data, if I want to retrieve any data, I can just give the query. That is, I want to know the data of CSCG section. So then what is the query I can give? I can give how many students are present in, what are the students whose CGPA is 7.8. If I give like this, what happens? I can efficiently query the process. The next one is nothing but consistency. Consistency, here we have less data consistency. Here we have more data consistency because of normalization. Less data consistency is nothing but, now what do you mean by consistency? Where you can retrieve the data very easily. Here in the file system, unless and until you remember the file name, where you stored the file name, it is difficult to retrieve the file. But here, using the concept of normalization, what do you mean by normalization? Is nothing but duplicate data is not allowed. That is, once you enter the data, if you enter the same data, it will be telling that the data is already existing. This is duplicate. Due to the concept of normalization, here data consistency works. Complexity is what? It is very less complex. Means in a file system, you can only store the data in this manner, but here in the data will be stored in a client server model in a centralized database. The next one is nothing but security constraints. What do you mean by security constraints? Now, okay, let us assume I have saved the file in a desktop. I have given the name. In that file, I have my personal information. That is my name, my profession, my salary, everything. I save the file and store the file. Now, someone opens the system. What is happening? They search for the data. That will be easily accessed. So, it is less security. But here, what is happening? We have a security mechanism. That is, the data is stored in centralized database. Only the person who have the access to this database can only access. And the cost is, file system, it is very less expensive, whereas DBMS is very high comparative. Why it is comparative? Because we are storing in a centralized database and we are using the client server model. The next one is nothing but data independence. Now, what do you mean by data independence? Is that is, you store the file, you access the file, right? After accessing the file, what is happening? Whenever you want to whenever you want to make the modifications to the existing file, you can make and save it, right? But here what is happening, the data is not interdependent, it is dependent on the previous data. But whereas compared to the DBMS, here you have two types of data, that is logical independence and data independence. User access, here what is happening, as I told you, in the file system, whenever you are using a system, whenever you are using your PC or laptop, only one person can access. But here as it is a client server model, multiple users can access the data. Okay, the next one is nothing but sharing. Here in the sharing, what we used to do, data is distributed in many files, so it is not easy to share. What do you mean by distributed in many files? As I told you, first you store in folder, next subfolder, next to file. See here what is happening, the same data is being stored in many places, so it is very difficult to share. But here we are using centralized data and client server model, so it is easy to access the data. The next one is nothing but data abstraction. What do you mean by data abstraction? Is nothing but it gives the details of storage and representation of data. Means now let us assume I save the file as resume.word. Now by seeing the word resume, what is coming to our mind? Here it contains all my personal information, that is my name, my date of birth, what are my qualifications, for what job it is appearing. So here by seeing the Word document, you will be knowing, okay, this is resume. And also let us assume I open downloads. When I open the downloads, if I directly see this file, I will be knowing the location. Here what is happening, it hides the internal details. Now in a centralized database, if I take students, it doesn't give how many students, which students information is present. It may be CSC, IT, EEE, depending on that is nothing but data abstraction. Next is integrity constraints. Right, the integrity constraints in the future classes we will discuss. Integrity constraints are nothing but the primary key, foreign key, what we are using. Here it is very difficult to implement, but here these are easy to implement. Okay. So, and the example of the file systems are nothing but COBOL and C++, and the examples of DBMS are Oracle and SQL Server. So, in file system versus DBMS, we have seen what are the differences between the file system, that is overcoming over the database management system, and what are the advantages of using this. Now, the next topic we are going to discuss is about nothing but a data model. This is very important topic, right? So what do you mean by data model? Is nothing but, now, okay, as we know, database is nothing but collection of data. It is a software that is used to represent the collection of data. And what are the things we can do? We can insert the data, we can update the data, and we can delete the data. These are the three things which we can do for the database management system, right? So the data model is nothing but it helps in creating an actual database. That is, what is a database? Means now here I have taken the students of information of CSC. So here whenever I see CSC students, what is getting into my mind? Nothing but here it contains all the information of CSC students who are studying in this particular college, right? So here I describe this as nothing but a data model. Why? Because it is showing the description of the database. Means in this database, it contains all the information of CSC students. So it is nothing but a transparent picture, which we call it as data model. I'll repeat it once again. Now, database management system is nothing but it is a software which is used to make the modifications in the database by using different strategies such as insert, update, and delete, right? For the example, now in the database, the information about CSC students is present, right? So if I see CSC students information in centralized database, what comes to my mind? That all the information of CSC students is stored in the database, which is nothing but you call it is as a data model, and this is nothing but a transparent picture of the data. So there are three types of relational models. The first one is conceptual data model, the next one is representational, and the third one is physical data model. Now coming to conceptual data model, right? So here I'll just show you the pictorial representation of the data model. This is the data model. This is actually the data model. It is divided into three types. The first one is conceptual data model. Conceptual data model. The next one is representational data model. Representational data model, and the next one is nothing but physical data model, right? So this is actually the data model, which is divided into three types. This is conceptual data model, representational data model, and physical data model. So now let us discuss one by one in detail, right? So the first we'll discuss about the conceptual data model, right? The conceptual data model is nothing but the high level data model. The hierarchy is conceptual. The next one is representational, and the next one is nothing but physical. So as we see the hierarchy, the conceptual is nothing but it is at a very high level, right? So what is the main use of conceptual data? Is nothing but it is used for requirements of the database, that is, and also it is used in the requirement gathering process, right? Okay, so what do you mean by requirements of a database? Now let us take the example. We have stored all the now I want to store the information. What information I want to store? So this comes under requirements. I want to store the information in the database management system, but what information should I store? Students information. Okay, after that, which students information? CSC. Which year information? All the 4 years. So these are nothing but these all comes under the requirements of the database, right? So in this requirements phase, we are using the conceptual data model. Okay, so these are the requirements with the example which we have discussed. One such popular model is nothing but entity relationship model, ER model, right? So the ER model is nothing but entity relationship model, means it specializes in what is entity, what are relationship, and what are attributes that are used by the database designers. Okay, so in the next slide we'll see what do you mean by ER model and what are entities, relationships, and also the database, right? So I will discuss about ER model. Remember, ER model is used in the conceptual data model for requirements of the data. Okay, so as we have already discussed, it is nothing but high level data model which is used to define the data and the relationship between them. Okay, so previously what we have discussed for the requirements, what is the information we are taking? What information we are taking? Students. Which students information? CSC. Which year CSC? All the 4 years, right? So these are the requirements. Now what is happening? This will use ER model. Through ER model, how we are able to design the data and view the data. Before designing the data, there are some terms that we need to know. The first one is nothing but an entity. Entity is nothing but a real world object. It can be a name, place, object, class, etc. What do you mean by real world object? If you have taken the example of students, obviously what the students will be having? Students will be having name. Yes or no? So here what we call this is nothing but we call it as entity. And how it is represented? It is represented in rectangle. Entity representation is in rectangle. Okay, so this is about the entity. The next thing is we need to know is about the attribute. Attribute is nothing but the description of the entity. Okay, now all of you see here the symbol for attribute is the symbol for the attribute is ellipse. What do you mean by attribute? Now here we have taken students. For students, what is the mandatory thing? They should have name. You will be recognizing the students with the name first. After that, how you can recognize? After the student join in an institution, they will be provided with their roll numbers. But what is the primary thing of the student name? That is nothing but entity represented in the rectangle. The next one is attribute. Attribute is nothing but it is represented by ellipse. Okay, so here what we have age, roll number and marks. Okay, after the student has joined the institution, he will be provided with the roll number. Okay, what is the basic thing we take for the student? Obviously his personal details, which includes the name, age, phone number, or if he is joining in inter, we'll take his name, his name, after that age, and what is his previous result, right? So the name will be represented in entity, which is nothing but rectangle. Attribute is represented in ellipse. Attribute is nothing but we have already told it is nothing but the description of entity. Here if we take the name as entity, attribute will become age, roll number, marks. Okay, now what is the relationship? Relationship is nothing but it is used to define relations among different entities. Okay, so now let us, so relationship is represented by diamond or rhombus. So all of you remember, relationships are only used to define relations between entities. Now see here, what is entity here? Name. Okay, so here how I am representing, the name is represented in entity. This already representation is there. If I want to show the relationship between two entities, this is the name, this is one relation, and the next one is what? Name. After that, what will be taking from which place he is. Okay, so the relationship of a student or a person will be displayed in this format. It is represented in rhombus, name, the name of the person or the name of the student, and the place from where he came. The next one is nothing but a representational data model, right? Here we are using only logical part of the database and it doesn't represent the physical structures. Previously what we have taken? Only the requirements. Here what we are taking? Only the logical part. So it primarily focuses on the design part. Okay, so in the relational model there are two things that you need to know, that is relational algebra and relational calculus. Relational algebra and relational calculus will be discussing in the representational data model. This all terms will be discussing in the future class, but just now I am telling that these are the two terms which discuss the logical part of the database. So in this model, how we represent the information in the form of tables, that is, this is the table, this is the row, and this is the column where the information is stored. Okay, so the basic advantage of using the representation model is nothing but whenever the data is stored in the form of the table, what is happening? Here you have SID, here you have name, Here you have roll number, here you have marks. So whenever the data is represented in the form of tables, in the form of rows and columns, it is easy for checking the information. And it also uses relational calculus and relational algebra, which we'll discuss in the future classes. And we also use the tables to represent the data and relational strips. These are the characteristics of data model. The last model is nothing but the physical data model. Okay, so here we'll be using the relational data model. Okay, here what is happening, the data is stored on a secondary storage devices such as disk and tapes. And in a file system, how we store the data, it stores folders from their files. In the secondary storage, RAM, ROM, here we are using disks and tapes. Okay, so here whatever the information that is present in the files, it will represent the structure of the database. Okay, so here basically we save tables in memory and it can be accessed efficiently. Now here the concept of SQL will be coming. SQL is nothing but a structured query language. This in future classes in detail we'll discuss, but you remember SQL is nothing but stands for structured query language, which is used to implement the relational algebra. So here this data model describes how the system will be implemented. By how means it is a structured query language. It is created by database administrator and also developers. So here we will be using how we are using a specific database management system. Now the characteristics are nothing but this we use for a single project and also we use for the other physical data models. So the next one is nothing but it contains the relationship between tables. Tables is what? Now let us assume one table is student, another table is faculty. So what is happening here? Which student is assigned to which faculty? Which course is assigned to which faculty? So there will be a relationship between two things. Next, it is also used for a specific version where it is actually located and at which data storage or technology that is used. Thank you. In the next class, we'll discuss about the structure of the database management system. Thank you.